It's coming.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is Secret America, where media meets truth.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America?
Buckle up. As always, it's about to get real. Your Secret America hosts, Jack Danger and Jay Gatling.
Welcome, everybody. I am Jack Danger along with Jay Gatling. And last night we had the State of the Union address, and it was entertaining, but it was a great speech. I mean, it was like an hour and 45 minutes, somewhere around there, and it was a great speech. It had a lot of good stuff in there, but obviously, we talked about how a lot of the Democrats didn't show up, which I think is actually a better thing. Because then he can bring in more people that he actually likes and wants to be there. But I mean, you got all these people that are they're just not doing what they're supposed to do. They're paid to represent their constituents, but instead they just don't show up because they don't like his politics or whatever. Yet the TSA people are not being paid and they're still doing their jobs. Yet the Democrats are being paid and they're not doing anything, Jay.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I get it where you say, yeah, there's more room for people that actually want to be there. They just hate the country. Democrats hate our country. I'm just going to say it. They hate our country. They hate anything good for our country. They hate anything that we see good about our country. That's what it comes down to. Once again, last night, we saw it on full display. Remember last time, it wasn't the State of the Union, but it was President Trump's first speech he gave in his second term when you had somebody like DJ Daniel has brain cancer. They couldn't stand up for that child that has brain cancer. And last night, they couldn't stand up for Irina Zaritska's mother. They couldn't stand up when President Trump said, our first job is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. Democrats simply hate our country. And first and foremost, you see Ilhan Omar and you see Rashida Tlaib. And that's the face of the Democrat Party. And that's what should be hammered home nonstop. These people hate us. They hate our country. They hate everything about it. They want to destroy it. That's it.
Yeah, no, they absolutely hate the country. And the crazy part about it is, you're right. When Trump said, he said, stand up if you think we should put American citizens first over illegals. And none of the Democrats stood up. They actually, and then they tried to rationalize it later on and say, oh, it was he was being racist towards illegal. Like, what the hell are you talking about? It's either American citizens or it's illegals, and they made their choice. Their choice is illegals, and they made it for the whole world to see. The problem is, it doesn't matter. The people that are hardcore Democrats can't see straight. They don't know what the hell's going on. But I'm going to be honest with you. You and I are more independent than anything, more moderate, more middle. The right's the same way. If we're going to be honest, the right is the exact same way. They do the same shit. I saw just today or yesterday, all the big influencers were parroting the same words over and over, the same shit about a certain person, parroting everything that, I mean, there are rumors going around that they were paid to do such. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I can tell you they were all parroting the same words. So the right is no different. I mean, the right is no different.
Well, I think the tactics might be the same, or maybe the behavior in certain ways are the same. But I will say this: the right doesn't hate the country the way.
No,
they
don't hate
the right.
The country,
does not hate the United States of America. The left and the Democrats hate the United States of America. They hate it.
Yes.
They absolutely hate it. They hate our Constitution. They hate our laws. And last I checked, Jack, was illegal alien a race? Is that a race?
No. And that's the funny thing. They said it was racist, but that means you're assuming illegal aliens are all brown Mexicans. That's what they're doing. They're the ones being racist because they are assuming that it's all brown people that are illegals. And I want to say real quick, in a short little while, we actually have something amazing for you. A handwritten note by Epstein that may prove his escape. Okay? He actually wrote this stuff down, and we'll have that for you in a little while. But first, I want to say before we really get going, we want to say, guys, make sure you subscribe and follow us on X, YouTube. We just started streaming on Kick tonight, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble. They're all the same. All Secret America TV. Make sure you subscribe and follow to all those. We would really appreciate it. You know, it would help us out a lot. So we would really appreciate that. But Jay, yeah, the State of the Union was just awesome because it showed everything. First of all, it showed all of his wins, and then it showed, basically all of their losses. It was great. And then they came out and said that they thought it was an award show, but he was giving, congressional medals of honor to these patriots, these war heroes that deserve it. And they're coming out and telling the press that it was like an award show. I mean, how crazy is that?
Yeah, I think you're referring to Debbie Wasserman Schultz. That's actually Debbie Wasserman Schultz with her hair that looks like it went through. She cleaned my hair with a brick. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is disgusting. She's just again, another person that's been there forever, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can go back to her, back to 2016 with the DNC and all the crap that went on with her. But yeah, it was an award show, and I think his name is on Vittert on is it Newsmax, Jack? Leighton Vittert. He was interviewing her. I hope I got his name right. I apologize if I didn't. But he said there was like an award show. It was like he was giving a medal of honor to a member of our military who was like heroic during the capture of Maduro and this and that. And she's like, well, I stood for that. But he's like, yeah, but you're calling it an award show.
She's like, yeah, I brought a guest. That whole thing.
Who was her guest, Jack? I want to know, was her guest illegal? I don't know if it was, but would it surprise you if her guest? Oh, her guest was somebody, she said, that has an affordability problem. Who the hell was in office for 4 of the last 5 years, Debbie Wasserman Schultz? You guys did this. This whole affordability problem that we're still having, and it's less now, is because of you. Is because of you and Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren and all the rest of you complete freaks on the left who want to basically destroy the country, who want to just give away all the money and print money and make it come out of nowhere like it grows on trees. These people couldn't run a lemonade stand to profitability, and they're here telling us about affordability. They're the ones who destroyed the economy that President Trump is bringing back, and in record time, to be honest with you.
That's the thing. He's bringing back the economy quickly. Real quick, Jay, I want to say, even though X is showing our thing, do you see the viewers right there? You see that viewership number? Look at that.
Let me take a look.
No, it's on the screen, man. You're gonna have to, it would be on the screen, the eye up there on the right hand. Do you see it? On our screen, on our screen.
No, oh yeah. I actually don't see. I see a time. I see a timer.
Oh, that's all you see?
Yeah,
well, get this. We're 8 minutes in, and I don't know what the hell's going on, but X says we only have 40 people watching on X. By now, we usually have like 500.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what the hell's going on here. X is just so fucked up, man. It's crazy.
X is back to its old tricks. We had it good last night, and I guess, we're going to have to, I don't know. I guess it's day by day with X.
Yeah, you can't, you can't rely on X for anything.
No, you cannot rely on X.
But I am going to show you something, though, and this is interesting. It has to do with the State of the Union last night also. Check this out, okay? This right here is a poll that Tom Fitton put out, and it says, do you agree that the first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens? 14,359 votes so far. There is 0.4% of people that voted that think that illegal aliens should be ahead of them, probably their own selves, is what they're saying.
I mean, that's a 99.6 to 0.4 issue, Jack. Usually
that's 574 people, by the way.
I mean, the Democrats are so lost. But the fact is that the Republican Party is so kind of disorganized, and we have these factions on the right that are fighting with each other over stuff that's honestly not going to matter. It's not going to matter that much, this stuff that they're fighting about and the way this wedge has been driven into this coalition. All this stuff is like, it's personal kind of like grievances. It's not, I care about, you can care about that stuff, but when it comes down to it, I care about how much money I'm spending on gas for my car, electricity for my house, water, eggs, food, grocery, all that stuff is what really drives people to the polls, right? You vote with your wallet, don't you? All this other nonsense. And President Trump has us on the right track. It's not perfect yet. It's been a year, and Joe Biden destroyed the country.
Did you see? Yeah. Did you see what Rashida Tlaib? Did you see what she was wearing? The button that she was wearing at the State of the Union?
Yeah.
What was it?
It said F ICE.
No, it said the whole thing. I want everybody to see this. This is the actual thing that she was wearing. Take a look at this. All right. There it is. Let's pull it up even closer. You see that right there? That says fuck ICE right there.
Yeah.
That she wore that at the State of the Union address in the Capitol. She wore that. That is what she is supposed to be representing the federal government, and she's in the federal government, and ICE is a federal agency that protects Americans. And that's what she's wearing. Because
she hates Americans. That's why. So Rashida, and she was saying KKK when people were chanting USA. You could see her saying it. You know that she was saying when people going USA, she's going KKK. She hates the country, Jack. Hates it. You have Ilhan Omar yelling at the president. Remember when I think it was Congressman Smith yelled at Barack Obama and he said, "You lie," when he was talking about Obamacare?
Oh, yeah.
And the huge thing that was made about that. And then in the past, we've had Marjorie Taylor Greene yelling too. I don't want anybody yelling. I don't want a Republican yelling.
No, nobody should be yelling, man. It's ridiculous.
Nobody should be yelling at the president. It looks, whether you hate the president or you like the president, it looks bad on the world stage.
When Nancy Pelosi tore up the speech right behind him. I mean, that was ridiculous.
Horrible. I mean, absolutely. The optics of that are so awful for the rest of the world to see. It's just awful.
It is. It's absolutely horrible, man. And I want to show everybody real quick. The Democrats had their own little State of the Union address. It was their own particular thing that they did as kind of a, you know how the TPUSA had like an alternate halftime show? Well, the Democrats had an alternate State of the Union address. Let me show. At
the end?
No, during the show. They had an actual state. It was not there at the State of the Union. It was somewhere else. But they all gathered. Take those 72 Democrats that didn't show up. They had their alternate State of the Union address. Take a look at this. This is real. This is 100% real.
I'm fresh out of an ICE prison in Minneapolis.
See where it says defiance.org, State of the Swamp? That was the Democrats right there. This is real right here.
I've been arrested 3 times by ICE over absurdity, over us being ourselves, over me singing songs like, "Hey, Mr. Tangerine Man, get rid of brown people for me. I'm Aryan white. There ain't no place I'm going to."
That's 100% real. That's one of it. But hang on. I want to show you something else. That's one of the things that they did. Here is the other one. Take a look at this.
I am a physician, and I have a flag. And I am the proud representative for Oregon's 3rd Congressional District. Yes, thank you.
Look at this.
It's a freak show. It's a freak show.
And tonight, I defy Trump and his authoritarian project by standing in joyful, radical, peaceful resistance with the Portland Frog Brigade.
The Portland Frog Brigade. So it's like they have people dressed as animals, Jay. The last guy was a freaking giraffe. These people are frogs, and this was their alternate State of the Union address. So if Democrats had their way, Jay, this is how the State of the Union would go.
They're freaks. And those are the same costumes you saw outside the ICE protests after a while, because they wanted to make it seem like this peaceful, joyful thing with these these inflatables running around. These people are freaks. Who votes for this? Who votes for that woman? Who votes for any Democrat that goes to that? And by the way, who paid for that? That wasn't cheap. That was a whole production setup. Who's paying for that? Who's funding this?
I'm sure it's the American taxpayer.
Well, I hope it better not be. There better be a non-governmental organization that takes government money. So you're right. It was the taxpayer in some way, shape, or form, because we know all these NGOs, these non-governmental organizations somehow get money from the government, which means they're governmental. But anyway, this is a freak show. It's an absolute freak show. Who in their right mind, and I'm not saying Republicans are perfect, not by a long shot, But this is insanity. This is craziness. This is mental illness on display. You're voting for that? You're mentally ill if you're voting for that. I'm sorry. Not sorry. You need to go talk to somebody. If you think those are the people that you want representing you, they're not serious people, Jack, but they're a serious problem.
Oh, absolutely. And of course they're mentally ill. I mean, take a look at this right here. This is part of the whole mental illness thing. This guy right here is the former Norwegian prime minister, and he attempted suicide yesterday after being charged with corruption in connection with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, guess what? Barack Obama gave him the Nobel Peace Prize. So that is, the kind of people that they hang out with. That's their kind of thought process. And that's the kind of things that they do. The Democrats, most of them are mentally ill. And that's why we talk about, they try to attract mental illness. They want mentally ill on their side. That's why they get the transgender. That's why they get the rest of them. Because if they have mentally ill on their side, they know the mentally ill will commit the political violence for them, will put pressure on people, will protest, have no qualms about hurting people. That's what they want. They want to win by force, not by population.
Force and cheating. Combine the two. They want to win by force and they want to win by cheating. And John Thune today, I don't know if you were going to get to this, Jack, but I'll just say it right here since it kind of leads in a little bit. John Thune today said, we're going to force a vote on the Save America Act. No, John Thune, because we want to see where we're going to put Democrats on the record. Hey, pal, that ain't going to cut it. We know where the Democrats stand on it, John Thune. They're going to vote no. Okay, we know this. What you need to do is you already looks like have 51 Republicans that will vote for the Save America Act. You need to get it through with 51 votes, whether you nuke the filibuster outright or you use the standing filibuster, which would make the Democrats literally stand and debate for as long as it takes for them to kill it. You would have to exhaust them out and then pass it with 51. We're not going to stand for we're just going to make them vote and get them on the record. We already know what they're going to say. Ain't going to cut
absolutely.
It, pal. Don't try to pull that one over our eyes. Not happening.
But see, the crazy, and I want to show you guys something right here. After everything that's gone on, even after everything you see with the Democrats, all their craziness, everything, check this out right here, okay? The Republicans apparently have an 80, the Republicans have a 60% chance to win the U.S. Senate in the midterms. But look at this. The Democrats have an 83% chance to win the House of Representatives per Polymarket, who is actually an excellent an excellent odds-based market anyway. But they have an excellent. They're really good at doing the odds, and they're saying that the Democrats have an 83% chance to win control of the House of Representatives. And let me tell you, if they win control of the House of Representatives, they will impeach Donald Trump immediately. And if they win the U.S. Senate, which the Republican Party now has an all-time, or not an all-time, but a new low of 60% chance to win the U.S. Senate. It was a lot higher, but now it's down to 60%. And if they lose the Senate and the House, Donald Trump may be the first president ever to be impeached and then removed.
Yeah, to get him removed, they're going to need, they need a high threshold. I don't know that even if they take the Senate that they'll have enough to remove him. But you're 100% right. In the House, if they get the House, they will control the actual impeachment. It'll be done within a week. They'll
almost
be on
immediately.
their way.
They probably already have it written down.
Correct. It's already written down. The book is on the shelf, getting ready to be taken off. What Republicans have to do is somehow defy those odds. It's happened in the past. It actually kind of happened, I think, when President Trump won, obviously, again in 2024. And the fact that the Republicans won the House was a very big surprise. So it can happen. But here's what we keep saying to people. As much as you might be frustrated about certain things going on, you cannot, especially after once again you watched. Don't forget last night. Don't forget it. You see what these people are. You can't. I'll take the worst Republican right now that I have to deal with in place of any one of those Democrats that can't even stand up when a president says our responsibilities to American citizen, or stand up for Irina Zarutska's mother. These people are despicable. You can't turn the country over to them.
I want you to check this out, actually, because this is really cool. This is something that I agree with. Okay, so Senator John Fetterman, we know he's a Democrat, says he was one of the Democrats to stand up for Irina Zarutska's mom and Erica Kirk at Trump's State of the Union. Okay, he also said he wore a suit to President Trump's address instead of a hoodie out of respect. That's what he said, and he is awesome. I want to show you something else. Okay, get this. All right. It was just announced that Senator John Fetterman has a stunning 73% Republican approval in his home state of Pennsylvania and a 62% Democrat disapproval. Take a look at this. Okay. Republicans, and I want you to take a look at this. This is crazy right here. All right. And this is all for Fetterman right here. Okay. Republicans have a 73% approval, like I said, of him. Independents have a 48% approval of him, which is still, above the 37 disapproval. But Democrats, because he's common sense, because he's normal, he only has a 22% approval with them in his home state. I think, and this is just my opinion, I think we should trade him for a Republican. Why don't we get, Lindsey Graham over to the Democrat side and we'll take John Fetterman?
Well, listen, Lindsey Graham, as detestable as he might be in a lot of cases, he is voting. He votes pretty much 100% with President Trump at this point. I could think of plenty of others that I'll trade. I'll trade Lisa
there's
Murkowski.
Tons. You kidding me? Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, the whole nine.
A whole bunch of them before I will trade Lindsey Graham. And that's how much things have shifted at this point.
Such a warmonger, man. God.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's in the he's the military industrial complex, without a doubt. But again, he's the least of our problems at this point. Murkowski's a huge problem. Mitch McConnell's still there. He's still a huge problem. He'll be gone, but he's a huge problem. Collins is always very iffy. You can go down the line to Ricketts. There's a bunch of them. Rand Paul is a problem now more than ever. But when it comes to Fetterman, you're exactly right. The reason why they don't like him is because he's actually just being common sense. He's not being he doesn't vote with Republicans. He voted with Lake and Riley Act, which is a common sense law, right? Mm-hmm. He votes common sense. And that's another one. You just said it, Jack. They don't like common sense. I like saying common sense finds common ground. That's John Fetterman. I can find some common ground, right? You and I can find some common ground with John Fetterman on common sense issues. He's not going to agree with us most of the time, but on common sense issues, we could come to an agreement here and there, right?
Wait. Is this true? Is this true? Moonlit Orchid said that he stayed seated when talking about John Fetterman. He stayed seated when Trump asked, is the government's job to be to protect the American citizens first or illegal aliens? Is that true? Did he stay seated for that?
I don't know. It probably might be. We could check that.
Very interesting. Check that. If he stayed seated for that, that might change a lot of people's opinions.
Again, that's what I'm saying. He's playing both sides. He's playing both sides. And maybe he saw that poll come out and said, I'm going to sit for this one. But at the same time, I'm going to kind of, he's in a purple state. And he knows if the Republicans actually can put a strong person against him, that he might have some problems. He beat Dr. Oz, and he probably and it was with it was in 2022. Was it 2022? He beat Dr. Oz, who was not a good candidate. If the Republicans could put a good candidate up against him, he might be in trouble, Fetterman. He's threading a needle, and I think he's probably maybe realizing that he might be going too far for the Democrats and his state's taste. So politics is disgusting, isn't it? You can't just be yourself a lot of times, right? In a state like Pennsylvania, you can't just be yourself. You got to play both sides of the fence. That's why I could never do it. I
absolutely no. You can't be yourself at all. No. And yes, John Fetterman did remain seated at that time. I looked it up. He said during the speech, Trump challenged lawmakers if they agree that the first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegals, and indicate that no Democrats stood for this particular prompt, including John Fetterman. So that is true. That did happen. I will say, though, that even CNN put out a poll that said Trump, that the State of the Union had a 63% positive and only a 36% negative. His speech was so incredible that even CNN had to admit that it was a 63% positive on their polls, and they probably asked mostly Democrats.
Yeah, it was probably skewed. Here's the thing. Most people in our country agree with a lot of the things we say on this show. The problem is they're not going out and voting, especially when President Trump's not on the ballot. It's a huge problem. And guess what? In 2026, he's not physically on the ballot, but he's on the ballot. The agenda you voted for in 2024 is squarely on the ballot. Because guess what? If we don't retain the House and the Senate, none of that has a chance to get done. If they just take the House, they're going to shut it down. They're going to impeach him. It's going to be 2 years of just nonsense. So listen, Jack, the polling is correct because it's, again, common sense stuff that most Americans can get on board with. It's just they got to get out and vote. You've got to get out and vote.
Well, check this out, man. I'm going to switch gears here for a second.
Yeah.
There is, I want you guys to see this, okay? There is a book out right now. It's a groomer book. It's called Bye Bye Binary, and it encourages people to trans their infants, okay? It's reportedly available in the children's section of the Indiana Public Library. Take a look at this. This is real. Okay, and it's called Bye Bye Binary. They say they don't want your kids to be binary, make them be trans. Okay, that's what this is. It's a grooming book for trans, to make your infants trans. First of all, how can your infants even be binary, let alone trans? I mean, what you're doing is you're projecting on these people. You want them to be. Look at this, Jay. All these celebrities, they all have trans children. That's not by accident. They are doing that on purpose. They are doing it because they want to be with the in crowd of the mentally ill. You know, they want to be with the in crowd of the liberals. And that's what Hollywood is. By the way, get this, Jay, get this. I want you to see this. I want everybody to see something. Actually, talk for a second, Jay, because I got something very interesting that has to do with Hollywood. Go ahead.
No, you're 100% right. Those kids are all groomed. I think, what was it? What's her name? Fox. Megan Fox. I think she has like 3 or 4 kids, and they're all like trans or this or that. That's
no,
grooming.
that's I think that's Angelina Jolie. I could have swore that was Angelina Jolie. It
Megan
might
Fox.
be all of them.
Oh, it's definitely more than one of them. I think it might have been her. Angelina Jolie's she's been with the blood and stuff. That whole thing when she was married to Billy.
Oh yeah, you saw that. That's yeah. Oh yeah.
But this trans thing, and that was another thing that they couldn't stand up for last night. I believe there was a girl up in the gallery that when what happened was she was taken away from her grandmother. She was missing, but she was found, and then her grandmother. The state did not give her grandmother custody because her grandmother wasn't on board with her transing or whatever pronouns she wanted to use or some nonsense. And they
did that to somebody else. Yeah, they did that to somebody else in Indiana. A father, they actually took his kid, his 10-year-old daughter, because he wouldn't support her transgender stuff. But I want you to take a look at this. This has to do with Hollywood, okay? I'm going to show you guys something that is going to prove that Hollywood will soon become obsolete. There will be no need for actors. There will be no need for producers. There will be no need for big budget movies. It is about to become obsolete. There will be no Hollywood anymore thanks to AI. Okay, I want you guys to take a look at this.
You killed Jeffrey Epstein, you animal! He was a good man! He knew too much about our Russia operations. He had to die, and now you die too. Epstein was the key to our evil Russian operations, but no one will ever know, because the truth dies here.
And it goes on for longer than that, but that is a purely AI right there. I mean, how amazing is that? You don't need actors anymore. In fact, you can what do you call it? Generate. You can generate people that are not real. You know what I mean? Generate people that are not real, so that way you don't have to pay them for their likeness or anything like that. Hollywood is going, in 10 years, Hollywood will be obsolete, Jay.
Yeah, well, you think once it gets a little better, right? Because you and I talk all the time. It's like, oh, it's in its infancy.
It's in its infancy. It's terrible right now.
And even there, you're like, yeah, it's AI. But I really, for a second, I was like, wow, Tom Cruise is fighting Brad Pitt. I'm like, no. But anyway,
I'm telling you, 10 years. Give it 10 years. Hollywood will be obsolete in 10 years.
10 years is a lifetime when it comes to AI. I mean, 10 minutes isn't, I mean, the things that change in 10 minutes now with AI, the advances that are being made, and we're in our country, especially, we got to win this AI race. We have to beat China. We have to be. It's just, there's no choice. We have to.
The space race.
Exactly. Or the nuclear arms race. We have to win. We have to be number one. So this is going to advance the amount of money that is going to be poured into AI that's already being poured to AI is just astronomical. And it's just going to get more and more because we have to win. So you're right. The advances that are going to happen in 10 years, 10 months from now, it's going to be light years better than it is now. Even 10 months ago, Jack, just think, we couldn't make the videos we're making on X right now 10 months ago. No.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible, man. It's going to, like I said, in just 10 years, anybody will be able to make their own big blockbuster movie. Anybody will be able to do that. So there'll be tons of movies out from now on. I mean, anybody can make their own movie. Hell, there might be a movie that I want to see that I think is a cool thing to do. I can make it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be, and people are doing it with songs. You know, then people are making their own songs. They're writing country songs. They're writing.
You're not going to need
songs.
singers anymore. You're not going to need actors. You're not going to need entertainment at all.
It's possible. It's possible. Maybe, you know, the only thing that might save it is that people still want that human connection to it. They still want to be able to actually go up and meet the actor or meet the musician and see them on stage in real life. That is always going to be something kind of a human want. But as far as like writing is going to be a problem for these people that write. It's still not there yet. We were just talking about this before we came on the show, Jack. I was in my space and we were talking about it, how the writing just isn't there yet. You could still tell it's AI. There's no like emotion tied into it.
Oh no, AI is like we said, it's still in its infancy. It's terrible at the moment.
But it's coming. Like you said, it's definitely coming, and it's gonna create a lot of different things that we haven't even thought of yet. There are the unintended consequences, right?
Oh,
we
absolutely.
haven't thought of it yet. It's going to be
so Jay. I'm gonna go ahead and show everybody what we wanted to talk about.
Yep.
Okay. So there is a handwritten notice, or not notice, but a handwritten letter, if you will, that Jeffrey Epstein did himself. And what it is it had to do with escape plans. He actually wrote different things about escape plans. I'm going to let this guy talk for a second. I want you to hear what he has to say. And it's really incredible. Okay. He actually had a handwritten letter that talked about escape plans and everything else. And nobody knew about this. And then a few days later, he quote dies, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's not the same type of thing, but I want you to take a listen to this. This is really good. All right. Everybody listen.
When I was speaking to the forensic expert, I'm not sure if you saw that already. He found the note that was found in Epstein's jail was actually an escape plan. So he was actually scribbling down with really bad handwriting, someone with ADHD. He was saying like, writing down the name of countries he could go to. I think Saudi was one of them. Qatar was another.
I remember
he was talking about. Exactly.
Notice how he said Saudi was one of them. Remember that old passport he had from the 60s that was that had him saying that he's from Austria, but he lived in Saudi Arabia? That is very interesting.
Yeah, it was stamped when it was stamped as Saudi Arabia.
Hurdles he would face. There'll be an arrest warrant, an international arrest warrant, Interpol warrant against him. How to avoid that? He's talking about different banks and money he has and tools he could use. So for me as well, it felt like, and he also signed his will 2 days before he died. So I feel like a lot of people are like, that points towards suicide. I'm like, no. They tried to kill him on July 23rd, where the footage was deleted and he was shrieking and they failed. He knew he was getting killed. He spoke to someone anonymous that might have been someone within the intelligence or someone else saying, hey, I think that, maybe a friend of his saying, they're coming after you. So he knew that he was getting killed. He's trying to come up with an escape plan. He signed his will in case he gets killed, and he was killed. That was my conclusion when I saw it.
The only thing wrong about that is we proved that he was not killed. We proved that was not Jeffrey Epstein that was killed in that cell. And we proved it for two things. One, the guy, Jeffrey Epstein, had a barbed wire tattoo on his left arm, and the guy that was laying there dead did not. And two, the guy that's laying there dead had an enlarged prostate, according to the medical examiner, and Jeffrey Epstein had a prostatectomy. He no longer had a prostate. It was removed. There is no way that guy cannot have Jeffrey Epstein's tattoo and can have a prostate when Jeffrey Epstein didn't and still be Jeffrey Epstein. It just wasn't him. And the problem is, a lot of people don't know this, and we talked about how this needs to be something mainstream. People need to hear about this. A lot of people don't know that the medical examiner said that that person had an enlarged prostate. A lot of people don't know that Jeffrey Epstein had a prostatectomy and had no prostate, and they don't know about the tattoo that wasn't on the dead man but was on Jeffrey Epstein. We proved definitively that Jeffrey Epstein did not die in that cell. Whoever that was, we tend to believe it was Anthony Rodham, Hillary Clinton's brother, who died, like a month or two beforehand, because they look exactly alike. But whoever that was, it was not Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. Could we find out if Anthony Rodham had a prostate?
I don't know.
Do you have any prostate records on him?
Well, the problem is they didn't do an autopsy on him because, first of all, obviously they didn't do an autopsy, and he died for unknown reasons. It was never disclosed.
That was another thing. They never told you the cause of death for Anthony Rodham. Isn't that right there? Isn't that a huge red flag, like more red flags than a Chinese parade? I mean, really? Why do we never get the cause of death for Anthony Rodham? Why?
Absolutely. And it's crazy to me that people still think that this guy was Jeffrey Epstein, and Jeffrey Epstein was killed. Whether he was killed or suicided, they think that he was the one in that cell when we proved that that's not true. So more people need to, listen to what the hell we're saying, because we actually proved beyond a shadow of a doubt with medical records. Okay. Even the medical examiner first said that the guy has an enlarged prostate. The medical examiner also said there was no tattoo on the guy's arm. It was in the autopsy.
And we saw the pictures in the ambulance.
There was no tattoo on his arm. Jeffrey Epstein has a barbed wire tattoo. So there you go.
Yeah. Listen, again, we say it every night now with just Epstein. It's just not going away because there's new stuff found every single day in 3 million files. So we talk about it all the time. We say, if you want to be a skeptic, that's fine, but you have to at least at this point, open your eyes and say, okay, I can believe this. I can't say that this is out of the realm of possibility that what you guys are saying is true. I just can't do it anymore.
No, and it is true. That's the crazy thing. It's absolutely true. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, you can't dispute medical records. The guy said there's an enlarged prostate. I'm going to tell you one thing right now. You cannot confuse an enlarged prostate with anything else. Let me tell you, the medical examiner that was doing the autopsy on that person did not know that Epstein had a prostatectomy. I can guarantee you that. So he just put it down. This guy has an enlarged prostate. Epstein had no prostate. Epstein had to take Viagra to have sex because he had no prostate. That's a true story. It was in his deposition where he said, yes, I don't have a prostate. Yes, I have to take Viagra.
Yeah. And I harken back to this. When this happened, when Jeffrey Epstein died, right?
Yeah.
Nobody believed. Everyone's like, wait, there's no way that this guy committed suicide. It's just, no, we know that this, he did not commit suicide. He was killed or he disappeared.
No.
Right. He was either killed or he disappeared. And even back then, people were just saying without any evidence were saying, no, this is not him. He was switched out. And everybody after that, remember, it went on for so long. Everybody would say something mundane and they'd follow it up with, and Jeffrey Epstein killed him and didn't kill himself. Remember, it's like, oh, it's snowing out and Epstein didn't kill himself. Oh, the sky is blue and Epstein didn't kill himself. This was going on back then. So now, once you have all this other evidence, Epstein didn't kill himself, but now we can prove it.
And we can also prove that guy was not Epstein. Yeah, Epstein didn't kill himself. That also proves that Epstein escaped prison. Now, whether he did it with, intelligence agents or intelligence services, I happen to think that he was an intelligence agent because, that's the kind of thing. What happened there is the kind of thing that only intelligence agencies can have the access to do. Get him out of prison, switch dead bodies, the whole nine. I mean, they made sure that even if people questioned it, nobody would. You can question the official narrative in America, but it never changes.
Yeah. Yep. It goes back to JFK, probably before all the stuff when we got those files and we're like, anything that was in those files from JFK that might have actually had something are long gone. Gone.
To me, that is the most ridiculous thing in the world. JFK was shot in the head and his head went backwards. Okay. The piece of his skull was on the back of the car. You hear me? And I'm telling you, Lee Harvey Oswald was behind him. How in the hell could Lee Harvey Oswald have killed that man?
Well, we talked about that. Who are we talking about that with?
Roger
Jack,
Stone.
What's that?
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone with the grassy knoll. Right. Exactly. Roger Stone, who killed Kennedy. So, hello. So, days go by so fast. I forget now, but
true.
Yeah. We were talking about that. We were talking about the grassy knoll and somebody has that footage and they want to sell for like $900 million, whatever it is. And
if they have the footage of somebody actually shooting from the grassy knoll, it's worth $900 million.
I think Roger actually said that to us, right? He said Yeah, it's worth every penny. It's worth more, he said, actually.
It probably would be. It
Yeah,
probably would be.
And I asked the question, how did that footage ever get out of the hands of the government in the first place?
They probably didn't know it existed was the thing. They never, because some people that take film, like they say, all right, we're going to try to identify every single person that did the film. There's some people that might have filmed that they either weren't able to identify or they didn't notice we're filming it.
But back then, how many people had a camera? You have the Zapruder film and probably only this, I forgot the guy's name, but how many people were really filming back then? Nobody had cameras. It was 1963.
They didn't have many cameras, but when
No.
the president drives through, anybody that has a camera comes out there.
I would tell you, if I have my camera and I'm filming that and, God forbid that happens in front of me, I mean, what's your first inclination going to be? Mine is going to be, let me hold on to this because I'm going to sell it. I'm going to be like, no, I want people to get it, to figure out what the hell happened.
But the minute you do that, you are going to be wrapped up in government shit for the rest of your life. They're going to turn your life upside down just for being a witness. Imagine what they did to Zapruder, Now this guy, whoever filmed this, Orville something or other, Nick, whoever filmed this, huh?
Was it Cox or Knox or something like that?
I think it was Nix. It was Orville Nix. Whoever filmed this, apparently what happened was he didn't want to release it at all. I think what happened was he died, somebody else inherited it, and now they're bringing it out. Because this happened, over 60 some odd years ago. And he didn't want to, bring that out. And I can understand why. The second you bring that out, you are going to be questioned like crazy and always be in the government's eye. But now that somebody else has it that probably wasn't alive back then, they're not going to have to worry about any of that shit.
Yeah, and they released the quote unquote the files. So at that point, all right, screw it. Here you go, but you're gonna pay me. I'm getting paid.
I like Deborah's idea. Elon should buy it and release it on X. If it actually shows somebody shooting from the fence by the grassy knoll, he released it on X. If he did like some kind of big thing, I bet he could probably get 300-400 million people to watch it. I know I'd be watching that shit.
You should do an X. You should do an X space.
Oh man, that would be incredible if he bought that and put it on X. He could probably make, his money back like that.
I would probably crash the platform, to be honest.
Absolutely.
It would probably crash the platform.
So, speaking of assassinations, Jay, I've got to talk about something that is horrible, something that happened to American citizens, apparently. Okay? Here's what I'm going to read to you guys. On the morning of February 25th, and this is from the Cuban embassy. Okay, the Cuban embassy. On the morning of the February 25th, which is today, a violating speedboat was detected within Cuban territorial waters. The vessel, registered in Florida, United States, approached up to 1 mile northeast of the El Pino Channel in Cayo Falcones, and it's a municipality in Villa Clara province, when a surface unit of the border guard troops of the Ministry of the Interior, God, they have tons of names for these things, carrying 5 service members, approached the vessel for identification. Apparently, and this is their words, they're saying this. There's no proof of this as far as I know. But what happened was the speedboat opened fire on Cuban personnel. So as a consequence of that, Cuban personnel fired back, killed 4 people, which were likely Americans, and 6 were injured, okay? And he says the injured individuals were evacuated and received medical assistance. He says Cuba reaffirms its determination to protect its territorial waters. But Jay, this is what we've got it. This is where we got it. This is where we're at with this. What happened when, Trump kills these boats, and I have no problem with it. They have drugs on them. He says they have drugs on them. We don't see the drugs. So I have no problem with it. But Cuba says these guys were firing at them, and now it's our side that they're doing it to. But it's kind of a similar thing. Something terribly illegal, they say, is happening. Just like Trump said something terribly illegal is happening, so they blow up the boat. Here, Cuba shot and killed 4 possible Americans. There's no way to tell at the moment. Possible Americans. How do you feel about that, knowing that really if it was Trump and we would have done the same thing?
First of all, I don't trust a communist country, which Cuba is.
That's the thing. We don't know if it's true that they shot at him.
First, why would you be this close to anything Cuban?
I don't know why they would go that close to Cuba.
Wouldn't. That's number one. And number two, I just don't buy that Americans would just start shooting at a Cuban boat, because obviously this boat isn't just Why would you start shooting at any boat? First of all, it doesn't make sense. Why, especially if you could see that it's a government boat, right, Jack? I mean, this is a Cuban boat where you probably have insignia on it or whatever, or a Cuban flag, or there's something on there to tell you that this isn't just some guy, a bunch of guys out drinking a few beers going for some striped bass or whatever the hell you catch down there. So I just don't buy the story that 4 people or 6 people, however many people are on this boat.
It was 10. There was 10 people. 4 were killed, 6 were injured.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, your picture's frozen right now, Jay. But what I can tell you, can you still talk? Jay? All right, we lost Jay for a minute. Maybe he'll come back. He's had internet connection problems the last
Where'd
week
you
or
lose
so.
me? Where'd you
there
lose
you
me?
are. All right. No, you're fine. We heard everything you said.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't make sense. But the thing is, if they're that close to Cuba, they're doing something that they probably shouldn't be doing. Why else would you go that close to Cuba? Nobody goes that close to Cuba.
No,
Jay?
No. I hear you now. Why would you go that close to Cuba? I don't know. I wouldn't go anywhere near Cuba, to be honest. I mean, Deborah says you can go over the line to Cuban waters. I'm not going near that.
They were a 1 nautical mile away from the channel. I mean, that's far over the line.
Maybe their GPS messed up or something. That could happen. It could happen. They might have been on GPS and it took them the wrong way. It could happen. I'm on my boat. My GPS can mess up here and there. Who knows? But I still just don't buy the story that they just started shooting at this Cuban boat, and that's why the Cubans fired back and killed 4 of them. There's a lot more to the story. This one, for me, this one is the 48-hour rule. I need to know a little more.
Well, I got to say, I think it's very possible that they did shoot at him, and I'm going to tell you why. I think Deborah's right. It sounds like a smuggling boat to me. 10 people on a speedboat? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't compute.
Well, you could put 10 people on a boat.
You don't put 10 people. You can, but you don't.
I've had
no,
10
you
people
don't.
on my boat.
You
Yes,
don't put 10 people on a speedboat.
I've had 10 people on my boat. Now a speedboat.
Well, then your boat was smuggling people too.
No, it wasn't. But I didn't shoot at Cubans either.
Well, yeah, but no, I'm telling you, there's no reason you would have 10 people on a boat and be close to Cuba if you're not smuggling.
Well, did you ever see, like, I watch the videos that come out of Hole-Over Inlet in Florida all the time because Hole-Over Inlet is rough and they get some great video. Like people, there's websites or YouTube channels that just have cameras set up on the jetties because of the footage they get at Hole-Over Inlet. And you have these boats that are nice boats. Now, what kind of boat was this? You have boats that you could easily put 10 people on that are speedboats. They're beautiful boats. They're worth several $1 million. But I need to know more. I want to know more about this boat. I want to know more about what these people's intentions were when they launched that day. I want to know a lot. There's a lot that we just aren't getting here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot we don't know. But I gotta say, Jay, it's very possible that it is a smuggling boat. I mean, it's Cuba. It's Florida registered, and Florida is where they smuggle the people in from Cuba. The Florida, right there, the Panhandle and all of that. So they smuggle them in from Florida. Smuggle them into Florida. And they might have just picked up these Cubans and were heading back to Florida when they were caught.
Absolutely. There's something going on here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Either way, there's absolutely something going on. I would believe. I'm not going to. Is it possible the GPS took these people who are out pleasure boating for the day in the wrong? Anything's possible. Is that likely? No. There's probably something going on here. I still don't buy the story that these people would open fire on a Cuban boat. Because that's how it's going to end, and that's how it ended.
Well, it depends. If they are smuggling, I'll tell you this right now. I would not want to get caught and go to a Cuban prison for smuggling. You're not going to an American prison.
Good point. It's a good point. It's a good point. I'd like to get the actual story here.
Yeah, me too. And the size of the boat would be good too, like you said.
Yep, I'd like to see the size of the boat, the type of boat, because you could have a speedboat that you could easily put 10 people on.
I want to know the race of the people, if we're being honest. I want to know the race of the people.
Yeah, the identity, the race. Are they American citizens? What are they? 100%. It's valid. It's a valid question. You need those answers before we can actually say what the hell went on here. Was Cuba wrong? Is this something that we have to address, or was Cuba actually in the right? Because they could be. They
could be. And Deborah says, you do not carry a gun on a boat unless you're up to something. But I'm going to say there's 2 possibilities here. Either they were smuggling people out of Cuba into Florida, and they were caught on the way back to Florida, and they had a gun and they fired at them because they didn't want to go to a Cuban prison, which I can completely understand. I wouldn't want to go to a Cuban prison. Can you imagine what that's like? But anyway, I mean, I've seen locked up abroad on Cuban prisons. You do not want to go to Cuban prison. But anyways,
one
it's
thing,
very
Jack,
possible.
One more thing, Deborah. Listen, I had a lot of guns and I lost them in a boating accident. Do carry guns on boats. You ever seen that shirt? I lost all my guns in a boating accident. And by the way, Deborah, for real, I do carry my gun when I take my boat out.
Well, he's just weird, Deborah. He's just a weird person.
I'm just not getting. Listen, there's pirates out there, Jack. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting my boat taken
You
over.
driving to Somalia?
There's pirates. I'm not getting my boat taken over, Jack. Not happening.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's either, like I said, it's either one of two things. It's either they were smuggling people, were caught and fired, or the Cubans are lying and there was no gun. It's one or the other.
Yep. We'll find.
So,
hopefully, we find out.
I'm going to show you something that might be hard to take, but it's true. Okay? Right now, black men with white women, and this might be hard to take, I'm sorry, but this is true. Black men with white women are 2% of the population. I'm talking about mixed race relationships, black men, white women. 2% of the population. But get this, they are about 75% of the advertisements. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. They are about 75% of the advertisements, despite being only 2% of the population, Jay.
You see, I'm so glad you brought this up. I didn't know you were going to bring this up. When I was working still, and we would be hanging around watching TV, watching a game, whatever was going on, we had some downtime. We would pay attention to the commercials, and we would bring this up all the time. We're like, can there just be a commercial with just white people?
Exactly.
Can there just be a commercial with maybe all black people? Why? What's with all the mixed races? Because like you just said, it's not the true picture of reality.
And it's never a white man with a black woman, if you want the truth.
White man with a black, very rare, very rare. And they always also make mostly white men look stupid.
Yep.
In
always.
Every commercial. In
always.
Every commercial. And in every sitcom. White men look stupid. They're the fool. They're the butt of the joke. And every commercial, the woman is the smartest one, especially if the woman isn't white. And this isn't racist, everybody. This is TV. Watch it yourself.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Face.
It's not racist. It's reality.
Thank you. It's reality.
So it's insane, man. It's absolutely insane what's been going on. But I want to talk about one more thing, Jay, real quick. We got a few minutes left. Something crazy happened. Okay. Have you ever heard of the squatty potty that a guy made for kids? You know what I'm talking about?
I have seen that commercial.
Well, get this. The squatty potty creator, Robert Edwards, who was on Shark Tank, he was just arrested in Utah for child porn. He's partnered to a man and is a co-parent to 4 children. Okay. Authorities say Edwards purchased a trove of child pornography between 2021 and 2025. An undercover FBI agent joined a group chat where horrifying material was being distributed. And let me tell you, if this guy is doing child porn, get this, okay? He's doing the squatty potties. What if he has like little cameras in those squatty potties? I mean, he's talking about children that are naked on these potties, and if he's doing child porn, what if he puts little cameras in these squatty potties?
I don't want to think about it, and I'm glad I never bought one of those stupid things.
We need to check into it.
Oh my God! I mean, but we're going to be told that all this stuff you just mentioned, it has nothing to do with it. No, it has a lot to do with it. Okay, this whole cope. We got to be careful, I guess. Do we though? I don't want kids raised by 2 men. I want a mother and a father. Am I traditional? Maybe call me traditional. I don't want kids raised by 2 women. I want a mother and a father. That's what I want.
I have to agree. I mean, that's a balance. You need a balance.
100%. Well, that's the way it's supposed to be, isn't it? Because you need a mother, a man, and a woman to make said child, correct? That's the way God intended it. I know. It's I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm telling you the truth. Okay, that's just the truth. That's reality. A man and a woman are needed to make a child and thereby raise said child.
Check
That's
this out,
the way
Jay.
it's supposed to be.
check this out. I'm going to show everybody. Now that you know that he was arrested for child porn, I want you to look at his commercial and tell me how you think about it now that you know he was arrested for child porn.
I'm going to vomit.
This is where your ice cream comes from. The creamy poop of a mystic unicorn. Totally clean, totally cool, and soft served straight from a sphincter.
God.
Just so you know, this guy is eating the shit of a horse. That's what this is right now.
They're good at pooping.
Yes, a horse with a
You know
fucking
who sucks at pooping? You do.
sword on its
Have
head.
your colons open and ready for battle. That's because our bodies were made to poop in a squat, and now there's a product that lets you squat in your own home. Introducing the Squatty Potty. Squatty Potty, you get complete elimination. Spend too much time on the chamber pot? The Squatty Potty makes you go twice as fast for your money back. I stream, you stream, and plop.
Hell does a squatty potty make you go twice as fast?
I don't know, but it's geared towards children, Jack. That commercial is geared towards kids.
Well, of course.
Right?
I mean,
Look
of
at
course. But they're talking about eating the shit of a horse. I
Ice
know it's a
cream.
unicorn, but it's a horse.
Ice cream, right? The colors. It's like My Little Pony crap. I mean, you look at the big eyes on the unicorn. Those big eyes. Look at all the kids shows. Look at all the characters. That's what draws kids in. Dora the Explorer, big eyes. All these characters on all
Oh yeah,
these
the
shows.
eyes matter.
It's
But
always
Moonlit is
about-
right. Just like I thought. I think what if there was cameras in those squatty pots? If this guy's really a child porn person, I mean, hell, that's the perfect product for him to sell.
Oh my God. It's crazy. I've never seen that commercial, but I wouldn't even have to know about this for that commercial to have alarm bells going off in my head.
Very weird. All right, Jay, we got 4 minutes left. There's one thing I want to talk about real quick. Check this out, okay? There is right here. I want everybody to see this. All right, this is a Minnesota right now seeks to suspend the Fourth Amendment protections for gun owners in shift to Sharia system. Right here, Minnesota lawmakers, under the influence of the Somali patronage system, are advancing legislation to ban fire. I want you to take a look at this. This is right. This is what it is right here. They're trying to ban semi-automatic firearms and then allow warrantless home inspections of gun owners. This is 100% true here. Take a look at this. All right. They are advancing legislation that would ban possession of nearly every semi-automatic firearm in the state, creating what gun rights advocates warn constitutes one of the nation's most aggressive attempts to criminalize commonly owned weapons. All right. So what they want to do is they want to get rid of handguns. They want to get rid. First, they start and they say it's military style assault weapons. But then they say, okay, we want to get rid of handguns. We want to get rid of, check this out. Here's what they really want to get rid of: pistol grips, adjustable or telescoping, thumb hole stocks, flash suppressors, barrel shrouds, threaded barrels, or forward grips. Any semi-automatic center fire or rim fire with a fixed magazine holding more than 10 rounds would also be banned, along with semi-automatic pistols with detachable magazines. Did you hear what I just said there? Semi-automatic pistols with detachable magazines. That means they want to get rid of your handguns, your right to protect yourself. This is Minnesota, the same place that is insane.
Yeah, with fraud, and President Trump brought it up last night, which is what triggered Ilhan Omar to go on her rant. I guess she was screaming that she sleeps with her brother and it's okay. Is that what she was saying? Yeah, that's what she was saying. But Minnesota is like the epicenter of leftist lunacy at this point. It's where it all is. It's where it's kind of starts out. I think it's like the experimental lab of leftist lunacy, which this is. And you're exactly right. This is, by what you just read to me, if you have a Glock 9mm, that's no good in Minnesota. Is that what I'm hearing right now, Jack?
Yes, that's what I have. One of my guns is a Glock 9mm.
Yeah.
Any semi-automatic handgun that has a detachable magazine. That means if you can switch mags, if you can take the mag out of the gun, it would be illegal. But that's not the only thing, Jay. They are also wanting warrantless inspections, home inspections of gun owners, meaning cops can just show up, and go in there and inspect your guns, make sure that they're not detachable or any of that stuff whenever they want.
Well, if you are a cop in Minnesota, you're violating the Constitution. I mean, right off the bat, if you do that. So you're actually violating your oath to uphold the United States Constitution. So maybe the police unions, they just got to put a stop to this crap. We're not doing it. We're not taking part in this. You guys can pass this law. We're not enforcing it.
I'm going to tell you right now that, unfortunately, there's a lot of police officers that would do what they're told rather than, get fired or be put on administrative leave. It's the same reason that, yes, people think that the military wouldn't fire on American citizens. Well, let me tell you, the people that wouldn't fire on American citizens, they would quit, yes. But the people that are left over will fire on American citizens. Just like this, if the people don't want to enforce these, they won't. But there will be people left over that will enforce these laws.
Or they'll find people that will. Why do you think they were doing to the military what they did to the military? We want trans, we want this, we want that, because they want these freaks, these mentally ill people in these positions, because like you just said, they will follow, quote unquote, those orders.
Absolutely, Jay. Well, I think we've solved all the problems we can for one day, man. I mean, it was a great episode, and the handwritten escape plans from Jeffrey Epstein are just mind-blowing. That's incredible, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got any last thoughts?
No, man. I mean, again, great episode. We appreciate everybody watching us and following us and all the stuff you guys are doing to help grow this program. We love it. Thank you, LFA TV. Thank you, everybody. It's awesome. We're having a great time of our life here, and every day, every blast, the hour just goes like that, flies by.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody. For Jay Gatling, I am Jack Danger. Thank you for watching Secret America.
You've been listening to Secret America.